Hey, what's going on YouTube? MPN Evolution coming at you live right here from the MPN headquarters. I hope all of you are doing well, and you're going to want to sit down for this because I have a very cool announcement that I want to make to everybody. We are bringing you a brand new episodic series, an autobiography kind of story, if you will, that we are calling officially the Mercy Lens. And it's a look through members that are past and present of the MPN gaming community will be coming on to this show and recording just a quick 30-minute to an hour long video with me, just talking about everything that they've achieved in the MPN community and just what the community means to them. It's something I've been wanting to work on for quite a while and excited to finally see it come to life. I hope you all enjoy it. We're going to plan on doing this pretty frequently, so make sure to check back to the channel often for new uploads. We also have plans to later release it on a podcast type format. But either way, YouTube is where you can find this and check it out on a normal basis. Hopefully weekly, if not bi-weekly for sure. So again, take a listen, watch it here on YouTube. And if you enjoy it, make sure to leave a thumbs up and comment down below any feedback that you might have or any guests that you would like to see come on to the show as well. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the very first episode of this autobiography series. And we are so excited to bring this video to everybody today. Alongside me here, I got one of my best friends, somebody I've gotten to know through MPN, the Chief Operating Officer, MPN Mastodon, and we're going to bring you guys an autobiography, a little bit about him personally and what he's accomplished throughout the community. We'll talk some MPN stuff throughout this video as well. MPN Mastodon, welcome. How's it going, man?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, hey, like I said, I'm very excited to finally get to do this with you. It's something that we've had in the works for quite a while, and you get to be the first one to experience it. So to start out, just tell everybody that's watching or listening a little bit about you personally. Tell us where it all started. What made you fall in love with gaming, and maybe a favorite game that you fell in love with.
Yeah, so for most of you guys that don't know, I'm 27. I live in the state of North Carolina. I've got a 4-year-old daughter. Been married for 5 years now, something like that. I got into gaming real young. I had young uncles. They played a lot of games when we were growing up, and we played with them. Uh, Super competitive football games, NCAA, Madden. As that kind of progressed, I think the big game, the first game I really got hooked on really was the terrible third person Star Wars games. That's kind of where we started. That's what my uncles liked to play, and then as we got older and started playing a lot of sports related games, racing games, that was kind of really what we stuck to. It wasn't until I got older that I got into first person shooters and stuff like that.
Sure. Um, so I too, I can't remember. I think it was Revenge of the Sith was like my first Star Wars game I ever played, and then obviously you had the Battlefront series.
Battlefront,
I always
yeah.
want to say Battlefield, but obviously, well, now they're kind of the same game, but no, Battlefront is kind of one that I got into on the PlayStation 2, I think it was. Um, but yeah, I think that's where a lot of us stemmed from, just those older consoles back before online gaming was a thing. It was set up at a house somewhere and play whatever you wanted to, kind of like a LAN party style with family and friends and stuff like that. And for me, it was Halo that made me fall in love with gaming. I remember the first time I played it was at an uncle's house, and he let me end up leaving his house after visiting him for about a week, I think it was. He sent me home with the Halo game, which I love the game. Couldn't put it down. Couldn't think of anything except that. Even when I was supposed to be at school, I was thinking of Halo and playing Halo. And it was always different for me with the Madden series. I know you mentioned playing football games, whether it's Madden or NCAA, which, hey, I heard they're bringing that back, right?
I'm so excited.
That'll be awesome for sure.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So my friends, they always kicked my butt in those types of games, but as soon as it went down to Halo or Call of Duty or any type of shooter game, that's where there's a little bit more advantage my way, just from growing up through gaming and the games that I enjoyed. So let's go ahead and now shift over to the MPN gaming community. This is something that you've been a part of now for over a year, at least 2 years, I would think.
Yeah, I think I'm pushing 2 years, just about.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and rewind a little bit to about 2 years ago. Think of that far back if you can. I know I struggle to think about what happened yesterday sometimes, let alone that long ago. But tell us a little bit about what was going through your head when you found MPN. What kind of were you looking for when you were looking for a clan or a gaming community of sorts? And then also, what did you think MPN was before you joined?
So, I wasn't really looking a whole lot. I've been playing by myself for a while. I lived in a place with terrible internet. So I played a lot of RuneScape because it's about the only thing that wouldn't eat up our internet. And we moved. I started playing a lot more Call of Duty. Started playing online a lot more, looking for people to play with. Um, I was a huge part of a group called LHR a while back, and that's kind of what I was looking for, a group that kind of followed that structure and community values and stuff like that. And then it was actually you that recruited me into MPN, and I fell in love with it day one. It met all my expectations, really.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear. I honestly didn't even know that I had recruited you, so that's really cool as well. And I think you joined for Call of Duty, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Awesome.
Unity OG.
Yeah, represent. Well, that's super cool. I actually know a little bit about LHR as well, and really all of these kind of OG gaming communities that used to exist so long ago. Communities like KSI, LHR, and XGN, and a couple of others that come to mind too that really set the path for something, of MPN structure at least. We took what was working with those communities and we're able to put our own touch on it, our own little twist of things, and make it unique to stand out in its own, rather than, going out and copying what everybody was doing. We just took little bits and pieces of people that influenced at least me to want to create a community like MPN. And it's been years in the making. We've had so many great people come and help us throughout the years, to make it what it is and to make it as unique as it is today. Obviously, you being a big part of that as well. And I always think it's so cool to just, again, try to think back, when you're joining as a brand new member, how intimidating that must be joining a community of our size, right? We got 1,000 people in a Discord server now, and there's conversations happening all over the place. So tell me about like day one when you joined MPN. I recruited you. You joined Unity Squad for Call of Duty. What was day one like for MPN Mastodon at the time? I don't remember. It was something Mastodon, I think your gamer tag was, right?
Uh, Fuzzy Muncher. It was Fuzzy Muncher when I started. But no, I like this question a lot because you know, as we've seen over or at least me over the last 2 years of being so heavily involved, and even back in LHR, it's always like a first, your first day will make or break you, right? Like your experience is going to be based off of how involved you get. And, when I started, the squad wasn't what it is today. You know, but I was super determined to, meet people and speak to people and, put myself out there to meet new people because it's, you understand that I'm coming into, somebody else's house. Um, and just opening up and making myself available to talk and to play with people really led me to having the best experience. It just, in my opinion, day one, just being as active and as open and as willing to meet people is what really makes or breaks that. And I think that's what led me to having the experience that I have had.
Yeah, I know that that's one thing that we always try to make easier for everybody, and that's kind of why we have the joining process that we do. But there's a lot of shy people out there, people that don't feel comfortable doing that, and really, it's a total opposite effect. If you go and you try to, talk to people, hang out in voice chats or whatever, you'll find that you take that next step a lot sooner. You get more involved, you make new friends, everything starts to happen quicker. One thing that I always encourage people, and I think you feel the same way too, so feel free to touch on it, is getting into your very first squad meeting, because these squads host meetings, weekly. I think all of ours do at this point. They host weekly meetings where they all get together and they update everybody about what their squad is doing, what the MPN community is doing as a whole. And then it's a great way to meet all of your fellow squad mates. So at least in MPN, when you're placed in a squad, it's based off the game that you play the most, right? We want to put you in a spot where you're going to make friends with people that have similar interests. So that whole process is a lot easier. And getting to a meeting, hearing these people talk, you begin to realize that you're just like them, right? You might not know them, you might not be able to see them, but you have very similar interests for the most part. So getting in the meetings, listening, hearing and learning about MPN, but then stick around afterwards is one thing I always tell people. Stick around, make yourself available, just like you were saying, and get to know people, and don't be afraid to let them know who you are and reach out to them and make new friends. I think that that's definitely a great opportunity when you're starting out to get involved.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. And it's so much better now than it was, even 2 years ago. The first meeting I attended, there was only a couple people, but they went through what they went through, and we all sat and hung out. And that first meeting is actually where I met Nibs, and he's, people would think we've known each other our entire lives, the way we communicate and hang out. We just hit it off the bat, and just I've been going strong since then. And now it's any day of the week you can hop in and someone's hanging out in a voice chat and they got webcams on and they're hanging out, and some people are drinking together and socializing, and that's really the key to.
Well, and not only that, but one of the other things too is getting involved in some of these other departments that we have in MPN, and I want to talk about that next. Is outside of the gaming aspect, our community handles so many other things. We have a graphics team, a productions team. We have the MPN University, the training department, right? We are now really focused in on content creation and displaying, showcasing our members' content wherever we can. We also have our esports program, which seems to be always growing and getting better week over week, month over month. And obviously, we have other servers too that just are focused on socializing, just hanging out. Not really as structured our other Discord servers, but a lot of great conversations happen over there as well. So outside of the gaming community, and just the gaming aspect in general, what would you say is kind of some of your favorites on those topics like I just touched on?
So it's hard to pick just one, really, because I've been inspired by every group in some sort of fashion. Um, when I joined, I barely knew how to operate Discord. Um, I had an account, I never used it, but now I feel like I'm a pro at Discord for the most part. The stream team, I love getting on, watching the huge amount of streamers we have, the huge amount of content creators we have in MPN. It inspired me to, start streaming and to get involved there, and learn all this stuff about OBS and how to use OBS, and what goes into running a good efficient stream. Uh, Esports teams, I'm super competitive, and it's super nice to have esports teams in all types of games where you can sit back and turn your TV on to Twitch, and and sit back and root for the home team. You know what I mean? It's awesome to see, and we have such good players. We have so much talent across the board in all of our esports teams. The graphics department is consistently throwing up, fantastic stuff. And I've watched people go in that didn't really create the best art, and now it's just banger after banger. You sit back and you watch them learn day after day and really get better. And then the university, I've attended a handful of classes, and I've learned from everything that I've attended. I think eCoop does a fantastic job with that, and I've never attended a class and not learned something new. So
Yeah, and you kind of touched on your own streaming yourself, and I remember you playing on your Xbox and trying to figure out streaming to where now you have a two PC build. You got that fancy new
that's
microphone
it.
that you just purchased with the mix amp, and
Yep.
that's something that I really appreciate too. Is like when I first started building my setup and what I have now. I was able to reach out and I looked at specs on a computer and I would send a screenshot of that to people that owned gaming PCs because I was similar to you. I had an Xbox, I had a PS4, but now I've fully transitioned into PC gaming, and I was able to just screenshot specs from computers and just post in our Discord server and ask, would this get what I need, or can I get what I need out of it? And it's a simple yes or no. And if it wasn't, then they would ask more questions to help me. What's your budget like? What are you gonna do? Which video games are you gonna be playing? I think at the time too, like GTA was a big thing I was into, so it was really, it had to be focused on being able to run that many graphics that GTA demands. And I don't have very many friends that are into PC gaming, so it's not like I can just call one up or whatever and text somebody and ask them. Instead, I came to people in MPN, people specifically on our stream teams, and asked them questions because I knew they were going to be doing the similar thing. So I guess share your kind of side of the story too with your PC build and everything that you've invested in for your Twitch stream and how MPN has played a part in that.
So, so my brother ultimately helped me with pulling the trigger on a PC. I got it kind of like the height of COVID, so they were hard to get. They were super expensive. To get anything like worthwhile, with graphics cards, the price is going through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of pointed me in this direction, and of course, I use the community to double check my brother, and they were super helpful. But this is a Skytech Archangel Gaming. It's got the Ryzen 5 3600 and the 1660 Super. It runs really well for what I need. The biggest change for me is like the audio portion of it. Um, MPN makes up 98% of the people who come and view and hang out with me, and I just really like to be able to talk to them and speak to them and provide the best quality to like maintain a communication. So I just upgraded from my Yeti to this Audio Technica and a little pile mixer, and it's been fantastic so far. I mean, it's the community's been so involved with helping me make changes and pushing me into the right direction and giving me positive feedback and negative feedback on things I need to fix and change. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so great to know. Like I said, I got friends all around the world in MPN that help me out in every single day with questions that I have. It's truly incredible everything that they help with. So, hey, I'm gonna give our sponsors a little bit of love here, and then we'll get back to it. I got just a few more questions, so just a quick break here.
Sounds good.
We want to give a special shout out to this week's sponsor, Clan Battles. And Clan Battles is a website, an esports competition based program that allows users to sign up, compete on some of their favorite titles, such as Apex Legends, Rogue Company, Rocket League, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and Warzone. And Clan Battles is excited to announce we are the first ones to share it that they are hosting their first premium-based tournament. $10 buy-in is all it is. 2v2 Demolition on Rogue Company, Friday, September 10th. They're calling it Friday Night Fights and will be hosted on their platform exclusively. This event will be broadcasted and will have a $200 payout for the winners. So it's an incredible opportunity for any rogue companies out there watching right now. Make sure to take advantage of this. Again, $10 buy-in is all for the team, $200 payout guaranteed as well. And again, we want to just give a special shout out, a thank you to Clan Battles. Make sure to sign up on their website if you enjoy any of the games that I already listed, as well as many, many more. This is their first time on a tournament-based platform, and they're only going to expand from here. So make sure to get signed up, clanbattles.gg, and let them know MPN Evolution sent you over there. All right, thanks again to Clan Battles for sponsoring today's video. We definitely appreciate them, and welcome to them again to a part of our family. So Mastodon, we kind of talked already about your Twitch stream and those skills that you've acquired throughout your time in MPN. We talked about things you've learned from the university trainings that we've done. But I guess my next question to you would be, what are some skills or traits that maybe you've taken to your, throughout your life, whether it's in the gaming community or personally? What have you learned from MPN and to be able to transition it into other areas? What are some like skills or traits that you've acquired?
So I guess the biggest thing for me is like conflict management. I do a lot of I handle a lot of conflict management in my day-to-day job, and handling it here with people from all over the world is really given me better insight and really helped me manage things better in my in my profession, um, in my career.
Yeah. And that's just it too, right? Like, I'm kind of in the same boat, but when it comes down to dealing with stuff that happens online, you're not there sitting with the person. You can't see the person. Sometimes it's all done in a text message format. So it's almost, in its own sense, a little bit more challenging to do it in MPN because when you're doing it at a job or with family or friends that maybe you have a disagreement with, you're most of the time you're there in front of them and you can read each other's emotion a little bit better. To where doing it online, it's just so up in the air because it just depends on how bad the other person wants to resolve whatever issue is at hand. And I think that being able to take a step back online when things do get heated or worked up, and just try to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, that person that you don't even really know, can be definitely a challenge, but has helped, has been able to help you at least in your work outside of MPN. So that's very good to hear. But I remember a conversation with you not too long ago. We were talking about how gaming communities are so undervalued is because of reasons like that, right? Where you can learn so much from it other than gaming stuff that you can transition and use in your personal work life, whatever you want to find success in. I just feel like that doesn't get out enough when we talk about gaming communities. Is just everything else that you can learn on top of obviously finding people to play with. So, it's cool to hear that you've been able to use that as a skill to better yourself in your work life too, because I've been saying that for a while now, it seems like, and to hear that other people can get that same bit of knowledge as well is very, very cool to hear, and I like that we're able to do that here in our community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's like you had mentioned with gaming communities being underrated. It's just that's the biggest thing. Just the under it's underrated as to what you can learn outside of gaming, as well as what they provide. With community, uh, family, safe gaming environments. Like we had talked about LHR earlier, and it was just a safe place for people to come and have a sense of community, have a sense of camaraderie, really feel like family, and it's those things are really being, learning something new as well. They're really underappreciated nowadays. It feels like, uh,
Yeah, agree. So I really only have one last question for you, and it's like a two-part question, I guess. But I'll start off with, for one, what are some future goals, future things that you would like to see MPN as a community? What would you like to see us be able to accomplish here in the near future?
so Uh, was it back in March? We planted our flag on the claim that we're the biggest active Apex community right now, and there's a lot of excitement coming with Halo. There's a lot of excitement coming with the new Battlefield, um, and we're already gearing up for these, and we've been gearing up for these. And I think that the big goal is going to be to, a year from now, plant our flag on being the biggest biggest active community for those games as well.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Halo is where it all started for me. Back on Halo 3, when we created MPN, we were kind of like a hybrid between Halo and Call of Duty. We were on Xbox only at the time. So now to get to run it back, if you will, on that game, and just to see the excitement around it from the fan base of, loyal Halo players that will be back there. I hope that we're able to make a presence on that game as well. We've had very successful squads, both Halo 3 and all the way up through Halo 5. But, the game just, Halo 5 was too long, right? Until this new one's coming out. So to get something fresh out there again, crossplay, it sounds like, between PC and Xbox for sure. It's going to be really, really cool to see what kind of group of gamers we get out of that, and be able to look back at what we did before versus what we can do now. I think will be astronomical and making a difference on that game. And then the same with Battlefield, right? We were really, really big as a community on Battlefield 4, and then 1 and 5 came out, and it just wasn't the same. So now to get to go back to kind of more of a modern type Battlefield, something that we were really successful in, I'm really excited to get to do that as well. I know that you're kind of humble for the most part in everything that you've achieved up to this point. Obviously, 2 years in the community, already up to chief operating officer. So I guess my last question for you is, what's next? What is next for MPN Mastodon within the MPN community? What is some goals that you personally want to achieve? Because I know that in March, when MPN was started in 2010, we've kind of now have set the tone for our Hall of Fame inductees, for example, to be done in March as well. Before, it was just kind of like sporadic whenever we felt like somebody had reached that point, and there just wasn't the type of atmosphere that we create now, right, for MPN Day on March 1st, and we pretty much celebrate it throughout the whole month. So with that, we're already looking down the barrel of March. By the time we get through these new game releases, we'll blink and it'll be March of 2022.
Yeah.
What are some things, Mastodon? Is that Hall of Fame maybe on your list of things you want to achieve?
Ultimately, right? It's the next step up for me. But realistically, I've got two goals in mind. One of which, community related, is I love my divisional leaders. Every divisional leader we bring in it's their family to me. They're my immediate work group, and the people that I spend most of my time with. And just to continue to um, structure these fantastic leaders that we're coming up with is my ultimate goal, and to see that through these upcoming games and the near to distant future, just to continue producing um, fantastic leaders. And then on a personal level, my goal is to be the number one teabagger in Splitgate. So I'm claiming it now. I'm gonna make it happen.
I've heard some weird rumors that like that is a thing, that you get points based off teabagging. I'm not looked into the
They
game at
track
all.
it. They track your teabagging.
And
There's a
encourage
game.
it,
Yeah,
correct?
there's a game mode on there that it's like kill confirmed, but you kill your enemy and then you have to teabag them to get the point.
Very
It's
nice.
fantastic. It's a blast from the past.
If it were something like on Call of Duty or Halo, I would have been pretty good at that myself. But I haven't looked into that game too much. I know a lot of our members are playing it though, so they seem to be enjoying it for the most part. I'll have to give it a try or something
Had a
sometime
90
soon.
minute queue time today.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I have heard that too, that the queue times are can be long. I think 90 minutes might be the longest
Yeah.
that I've seen or heard of. But no, I'm really excited. We got a lot of things to roll out in the near future with our community, at least near meaning by the end of this year. We're already into August now, so um, we're making our way through with probably arguably our best year yet as a community has been in 2021. And I think a lot of things play into that. But it starts with, like you said, the leaders that we have in the positions that they're in. They are all very successful and very skilled and talented in everything that they do. So, hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time to meet with me tonight. Thank you very much.
Thanks
Um,
for having me.
I'm very excited to see what this autobiography series ends up being. At least on our YouTube channel, I know we're looking at other options for audio as well. So thank you for being the guinea pig, right? First
Hey
one.
man, I'm excited, dude. I can't wait to hear this.
Well, hey, everybody listening or watching, wherever you're at, make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Comment down below what you thought. We'd love to hear your feedback and maybe some questions that you would like to see asked for other people in future episodes. And let us know if you're interested in maybe being a host or a guest on this autobiography series as well. We're looking for people all throughout our community, people that have had experience in MPN, to share how it's been for them and what they think of the community, where it was versus how it is today. So if you're interested in that, get in contact with us as well. If you're listening to us on any other audio platform, I'm not for sure where it's going to go yet, but we do have some ideas in mind, some of the popular ones that everyone's probably thinking. So if you are listening to us on there, make sure to give us a review as well, hopefully 5 stars, as we continue looking at improving not only this series, but other weekly episodes for YouTube and such as well in the future. So like I said, we got a big year in store yet for our content creation, and this is just the start of it for another great series that we're doing. So appreciate everybody listening. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you and hear from you all very, very soon. Thank you.